Melbourne, Victoria.
You know when you head to the doctor and they say, any family history of high blood pressure? For 39 years, Aimee Shackleton thought she knew. She'd never even thought to wonder if her parents were genetically her parents, until a letter landed in the mailbox one day.
The first letter I received was from a government agency called VARTA, which just let me know that there was some information about my birth details that they wanted to share with me. When I called the number, they let me know that I had been conceived using a sperm donor. My parents had used a sperm donor to conceive me, which I had absolutely no idea about. And the reason I was receiving the letter was that my donor was trying to make contact with me. I was absolutely flabbergasted to hear this news. I had absolutely no idea that that could happen to a person at 39 years of age. Shocked, numb. I just completely overwhelmed with to hear that news, but also intrigued to find out more and find out about this genetic relative of mine.
And suddenly, there were answers to things Aimee probably never even questioned before.
They told me that he'd written me a letter from him. So I went on to read the letter that he had written me, and as I read the letter, it just answered so many questions about my life that I didn't realise needed answering. It was as if I was reading a letter about my own life. He described his hobbies, interests, things he was interested in, and it was perfectly matched up with my life. Wow. Things like he's a professional musician. I have a strong interest in music and play many musical instruments. He was a swimmer. I'm a swimmer. He's a teacher. I'm an educator. So many interests that we shared. And it was just amazing to read the letter, and it just answered so many questions for me.
So how does this happen at 39, you're wondering? Well, there was a law change that meant Aimee's donor could reach out. It's not something her parents ever expected could happen.
It's tough for them because they were told that it was anonymous.
Yes.
And it would always be anonymous.
Happened,
they were told never to tell the child. The medical advice that it would damage the child irreparably to tell them the truth. So they actually followed medical advice at the time, so I actually don't blame them for not telling me. And they never thought that it would come out, but of course nobody ever thought that direct-to-consumer DNA testing would become a reality 40 years later, and we would all be able to find our genetic heritage by just doing a quick test on the internet.
Now Aimee has what she calls a bonus family. You know, an extra one on top of her original family.
So I went on to meet him and also a brother and sister who were brought up in their own families, who were born from the same donor, and it has really enhanced my identity and taught me a lot about myself. I now have fantastic relationships with my genetic family and my original family, and I'm so proud to know both of them.